Hi, I'm Tom Zelenka. Now, I'm just a beginner in the kitchen. In every episode of Carolina Cooking, I meet a different chef from a famous restaurant in the Carolinas who'll teach me to cook their secret recipes in just 30 minutes or less. Really good.
Welcome to Carolina Cooking, shot on location at the mansion on Forsyth Park and the 700 Kitchen Cooking School. Now, here's your host, Tom Zelenka.
Hi, welcome to Carolina Cooking. I'm your host, Tom Zelenka, and today we are going to be making a curried crab and goat cheese souffle, and I have never made a souffle in my entire life, I swear, pinky swear. Never even made curried crab. I don't know how I'm going to do this. What we do on the show, though, is we get help. We get the top chefs from the top restaurants in the Carolinas and sometimes some parts of Georgia, and we invite them to give me a hand and teach me and you how to make this in 30 minutes or less. Now, we've invited for my help today a fantastic chef from Savannah, Georgia, from the 700 Kitchen Cooking School in Savannah, Georgia, at the mansion on Forsyth Park, Chef Darren Sainert.
Thank you.
And a souffle, a souffle,
Take a deep cleansing breath. You're going to be fine. They're not nearly as complicated as people think they are. It's basically just egg whites and an intensely flavored base.
Really?
We're going to fold the two together, put it in our baking dish, pop it in the oven, and as the French say, voila.
Voila. Well, let's get started.
So
As the
we're going
French
to get started
say,
with our base.
let's get started.
And we're going to start with our red pepper because we need to dice that up. We have everything else prepared pretty much.
Okay.
But for this, you can go ahead and trim off the top of that. We're just going to slide that, just whack it off.
Right like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Now, split it lengthwise. And what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. It's kind of like open pepper surgery.
I gotcha.
And we're going to...
Is this bad? The seed's bad?
We're going to get rid of that. We're going to take out these ribs.
Okay.
Let me show you with this real quick. We're going to just use the tip of your knife, slide that down, and then do the same thing here. And you're just going to flatten that out.
Oh, okay. All right, I will give it a shot.
We only need a little bit. This is like the pepper that ate Savannah, so we're not going to use all of that today. So, okay, kind of squash a little bit more. I want to flatten it out. Actually, let's use this one. This is a little flatter. That one's even flatter.
Okay.
Okay. Now just cut it into thin strips, and then you're going to mince that up nice and small.
Okay.
Slice
Just
right
a little
that.
bit.
Yep. We need about a tablespoon for our base, and then we're going to use a little bit for the garnish later on. So we can actually just do a little. There we go.
Okay. Minced up?
A little bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start.
Right.
Can you do just a tad more for our garnish?
Sure.
We're going to start our base over here.
Okay.
In the pan here, we're going to add some olive oil, about a tablespoon, carefully measured, and we're going to throw in our butter. The butter shouldn't burn because we have our olive oil in it. That's going to keep
oil
the
and butter
milk
together
fats from burning in there.
Okay, is that about
That's
enough?
about right. Yep, there
Okay.
we go.
All right.
And
We'll
go
call it
ahead.
done.
We're going to put a little bit. Okay, actually, that's our garnish. Okay, just okay.
I gotcha.
You're, see,
I'm getting ahead of you.
You
I'm
were scared,
excited.
and now you're
Yeah,
excited.
I know.
Look at
I
that.
can't
You
wait.
can't control yourself.
I know.
Okay, we're going to save that, and this we can go ahead and put in there.
Okay.
And we're going to add our minced shallots. The shallot, I have a whole one there. The shallot is just basically like a mild onion.
Now, which part is the shallot? The whole thing? If they say add a shallot, is it this whole bulb or is it just the piece?
It's that whole thing.
Okay.
That whole thing.
Alrighty.
We're going to add that, and we're going to get those sauteing around. We want those to just kind of soften up a bit.
All right.
And then, while that is, while that starts going, let's go ahead and add our spices, because adding our spices to that's going to allow them to toast and give a little bit more intense flavor.
So cayenne first?
Cayenne, we're going to add just a pinch of that.
Is this going to be hot?
It's just going to add just on your tongue it'll be hot. But
oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Now
Is that good?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Wow.
Now go ahead and add a pinch.
Okay. Okay. Bad move.
And we're going to add about a quarter
Next time I
teaspoon.
reach for cayenne and I stick it in my mouth, everybody yell out no. Okay.
We're going to add a quarter teaspoon of curry powder. How'd that taste? Good stuff,
Very
huh?
good. Yeah.
Hopefully you like spicy.
Is this
things.
milk?
That is
I'm gonna
half
stick
and
my tongue
half,
in
but we're going to need that for later on.
Okay.
So
we put the cayenne in there. We put the
cayenne
curry
and
powder.
the curry. We're going to just let that toast around just a little bit.
Alrighty.
Next item we need to do is we're going to go to our souffle dishes. Let me move this out of the way.
Okay.
And we've got our butter. I'm going to have you go ahead and add a pinch of salt to our crumbs there.
Okay.
We have some dry bread crumbs. I'm going to butter the dishes. I'm going to have you separate the eggs later on, and I heard you had separation anxiety, so we thought we would have you take care of that.
I caught your show the other night at the comedy club. It
Yeah.
was great. That was a fantastic set. Genius.
Try the buffet. I'm here all week.
All right.
Okay, we're going to butter these. Now go ahead and add in your crumbs.
Okay.
And that's a crummy job you're doing there.
Oh, go.
Okay.
See, it doesn't stop, folks.
Now-
Different show at 9 too.
We're going to, there we go. You don't want any fat on your hands when you do the egg whites, otherwise the egg whites won't whip up. So that's why I wanted to do the butter for you. Okay, and just go ahead and dump it in there.
Okay, and one
Okay,
more.
and do the other one.
Alrighty. All right.
Okay. And go ahead and
Then
set those to the back of
we
the
have
counter.
to
where
crack
those are out of the
some
way.
eggs, or?
We're going to do the eggs. Before we do the eggs, though, we need to come back here real quick to the stovetop, and we need to add our flour. You can see that our vegetables have sauteed and softened up.
that's
We're going to go
very
ahead
good.
and dump in our flour there.
Flour would be this
That
one.
there. Yep, this is a French technique
Alright,
called
let me have the
Sanger,
spatula there, and I'll
or
just
as
throw
we
it
would
in.
say in the U.S., Singer. It's
Singer.
just Singer. Sanger, you know, the
Yeah,
French,
Singer.
it sounds fancy.
That's some singer right there.
Basically, we're just absorbing up that extra fat and oil with the flour. That's going to
Okay.
form our roux, our thickening agent
Alrighty.
for this sauce. So we're going to cook that, let that starchiness cook out of the flour.
Wow, that's starting to smell good.
And we're going to now move over to our eggs.
Oh, all right, eggs.
Okay, right over here.
Eggs are these.
And we need, I've already separated a couple of those, but I wanted to let you have a little practice.
Oh, yes.
So we're using a total of 6 eggs. I'm going to have you do 2 of those.
Okay.
Before you do that, we have 2 bowls. We're going to, our finished egg whites go in there. We're going to first crack it here. We're going to pour
To
it
be
into our
safe.
hands. So actually, I'm going to crack it.
Okay.
I'm going to put your hand out there, and we're
I'll
going to
catch
just.
it. I swear,
you
I got
catch
it.
the
I
yolk,
got it. Here it
and
comes.
then just let the
I
whites
got it.
run through.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just out here.
No, actually, that's not going to work now.
No, oh,
that's not going to work. So we're going to have to.
We're going to need another egg.
We'll be.
Oh,
you know
you
what?
shouldn't have
We're
trusted
okay.
me to do this. I'm
We're
not the guy.
going to be 1 egg short of a
It's-
dozen, but I'm sure that wouldn't be the first for you, right? Okay.
No, definitely not.
We're
Okay, I'm
going
trying
to-
harder. I got it. I got it this time.
Okay.
I'm not going to let it
Don't
go.
let it go through.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
Oh! We lost the whole
Oh,
thing there.
Man.
Well, you know what? We will.
See, that's how I do it. That's
we'll
my
get
plan
rid of
right
that,
there.
and
Okay.
that's not really going to work. So we'll
All
we'll go
right.
with 4.
We'll use with the 4 that we have
We'll
here
be
in the
okay.
bowl. I'm a failure
It's all-
already. I'm a
it's-
disappointment
no,
to
no,
you,
we'll just
aren't
have-
I?
you'll just
I'm
have
a
a- you'll have
disappointment to you.
You just need to uninvite
Okay.
2 guests to dinner
All right.
tonight, okay?
So let's go back to the mixture
Okay,
here
so
and
we're gonna
finish
go
that
back
up.
over here. And now that this starch is cooked out and that's thickened up a bit,
Okay.
I'm going to have you go ahead. I'm going to whisk, and I'm going to let you pour
Or
that
the
in.
half and half.
And we're going to add our half and half. That's going to form the sauce base for our souffle. And we're going to let this thicken up.
Okay, and about how long will that take?
That's going to take just a few minutes. It's not going to take real long.
Okay.
So we're going to let that go.
And so
then,
when we come back, are we going to be whipping these eggs into shape? Who's your daddy?
well, you're going to whip it good.
Yeah, whip
Okay.
it. So when we
And-
come back, we're going to be whipping these eggs into shape when Carolina Cooking continues.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm Tom Zelinkin. This is Chef Darren, and we are ready to finish our base here. It looks
Okay.
good to you? Nice and thick?
It's nice and thick. What
All
we're going
right.
to do, you can go ahead and add the goat cheese.
Oh, we got to
We
melt
want to
down the
mix
goat
that
cheese?
in. Yep.
And just
Go ahead and break that up. It's kind of soft, so it's
Yep.
sticking. But that will help it. We want that to kind of soften up a little.
It's taking the edge off the cayenne pepper from earlier. Still a little burn.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, we've got that mixed up. Now you can go ahead and add the dill and the sherry
Sherry,
too.
okay.
Add both of those.
Alrighty.
And did that get rid of the cayenne?
It
The
did
burn
actually. It was
sensation?
very good. Good idea.
Okay. Now save a little bit of that for our garnish.
Okay.
So add most of it, but just save a little bit to sprinkle on top.
All right. There we go.
Now we're going to chill this. We're going to quick chill this in an ice bath. So I have a bowl of ice and water here.
All right.
The metal bowl is going to help that to chill quicker. So you can go ahead and pull that off and pour that in here.
Okay, pulling and pouring.
Okay. There we
Get
go.
anything else you need out of there?
Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
There you go.
There you go. You
All
can
right.
lick that, and that'll help take the rest
Okay.
of the burn off.
Alrighty, and so
Okay.
then we're going to move over here to the egg whites and finish those up.
Okay.
We've whipped them up into a little bit of a frenzy.
A little bit of a froth there.
Yeah, but we're going to go ahead and finish them up for us.
Okay.
And we're looking for what?
What
Stiff peaks?
We want stiff peaks. What we
Okay.
did is we started on a slow speed to begin with, so that we're going to get tiny bubbles. You think
Tiny
that
bubbles.
when you're blowing bubbles as a kid, which
Yep.
ones you always got most excited about?
The big ones.
The big ones. But
Yep.
what happened? By the time they popped before you
Yeah.
could get anyone to look at them.
Yeah.
And so the reason why is because they're
You
stretched
know the
so
story
thin.
of my life, don't you?
Everyone burst your bubble. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we started at slow
Started
speed,
slow.
and then we brought it up, and we slowly increased the speed so we get a nice stable foam. We're going to just go ahead and take it all the way up and give it one last boost. Whenever you have the soft serve curly cue, that little the Scoopy doll cute curl. And we're just about there. We added some cream of tartar and some salt to that as well, and those acids are going to help strengthen the egg whites so they're less likely to overwhip.
All right.
Okay, and it looks like we're good right now. Go ahead and stop that, and we're going to test it.
Oh.
Because we may not be completely done.
Okay.
And let's
So-
see, we're going to just lift this off, and if we can, actually,
I think that looks
you know,
good. That's a stiff peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? There really is a better way for testing this.
Uh-oh.
The best way to test it, see if
Yep.
your egg whites are properly whipped, is to turn it upside down over your host's head, and if they don't fall out, you're in good shape. So, looks like we're in good
Okay.
shape.
Well, we'll
Okay.
just next time stick with just the...
Just checking
Yeah,
for stiff
yeah,
peaks.
exactly.
Okay.
So now we're putting our base in, and
what we're going to do is add our crab meat
Okay.
to this. So we can fold the crab.
Okay.
And just slowly, you don't want to stir it real firmly because you're going to break up those nice lumps of crab. We want to be able to have nice chunks in our soufflés.
If you'll stir for me, I'll get
Yep.
the rest of it out there. Oops, a little more.
Okay.
Excuse the fingers.
And that's cooled down. We've taken most of the heat off of that, so we're in
Okay.
good shape.
All right.
Now what we want to do, I'm going to put this in, and I'm
Okay,
going to have
I'll
you.
scoop?
Yep.
All right.
You go ahead. We're going to take about a quarter of that mixture. That's good
Okay.
right there. And we're going to stir that in. This is kind of like a good. Just stir it. This isn't a delicate motion yet.
Okay.
This is kind of like a good wartime epic.
All
We're
right.
sending some in advance of the others,
Okay.
sacrificing themselves
All right.
for the sake of those.
All
'Cause
right,
we're
go.
lightening the mixture.
Go, G.I. Joe.
Okay.
Go save Private Ryan.
Okay.
Like that.
No, we're gonna exactly.
Okay.
And you have to say that, otherwise it doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna add
Remember
half
that
of
at
the
home.
remainder,
Very important tip. Okay, half of the remainder.
and we're gonna do this in 2 additions. Now let me show you real quick, because we don't want to stir. We want to carefully fold.
Okay.
We're going to we're turning the bowl, and I'm scraping around the side and then through the middle,
Turning
around the
and
side.
scraping.
And we're going to
Okay.
do that in 2 additions. This
Okay.
first one doesn't have to be fully incorporated because we have the rest of these egg whites that we're going to be adding.
Alrighty. Scraping and folding.
Scraping and folding.
ready for the
you wanna
others
cut
yet?
down through the center every now and
Okay.
then, like every other time. That way
Alright.
we don't overmix one particular portion.
Alright.
Okay, let's go ahead and add the rest of those.
Okie doke.
And obviously you have to have a nice large bowl, otherwise you don't have room for that
Yeah,
folding.
absolutely. I always
Okay,
run out.
that's
I always
good
get to
there.
about this space, and then I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I seem to have
it's
maxed
going over
out
the
my
side.
bowl, and then I'm doing this, like, oh, please don't spill. Alrighty.
Okay.
And now?
We're just about ready to put these in. Go ahead and just fold, cut through a couple more times.
Alright.
Don't forget to turn the bowl, otherwise you're going
see,
to
I was
overwork that
forgetting
one
to
spot.
turn. It's
Now,
like chewing gum. And
if you
tapping
don't
on my
have
hand.
individual souffle dishes, what are you going to do? Oh my gosh, we
Uh-oh.
made the souffle and we don't have anything to put them in.
We'll just stop. We'll just call McDonald's.
We'll
We'll just stop by the drive-through
Go through.
and
Or the option that you have, you can do it in one large souffle dish or a
Okay.
casserole dish. Or if you have large straight-sided coffee cups, that's
Oh,
another
wow,
option. It
okay.
doesn't have to be a fancy French souffle dish.
Okay.
So, okay, you can stop now.
Oh,
Okay,
come on.
once it's
I'm having
thoroughly
so
combined- yeah,
much
stop,
fun.
Stop.
All right, fine.
Okay. Now we're going to divide. How's it
That's
taste?
already good.
Do you
Yeah.
see? And if we didn't have a good intensely flavored base, we wouldn't have much flavor because the egg whites really dilute that. So
Okay.
what we want to do is go ahead and divide this into our two dishes. Just spoon it
Okay.
in. You don't want to get it on the edge there, so kind of spoon it in carefully. And we're going to fill it just about half an inch below the top edge there. And then we're going
Now
to
you're making me
level that
nervous.
out.
After that whole
So-
egg white fiasco, I'm a little nervous that I'm going to
So,
get some on the edges, and you're going to yell at me again. You know, like he does during the break. He yells all the time at me, screams and fusses. Oh, it's
Only when
just
you deserve
crazy.
it.
Alrighty.
Okay, a little bit more, just a touch,
Oh,
just a tad
for
more.
crying out! Wow,
Okay.
you're just a
Okay.
perfectionist.
Now go ahead and do this one.
Okay.
And I'm just going to gently shake that, and we're going to smooth both of these over, and then we're going to put them in the oven.
Alrighty.
Now, if you wanted to make, like, say you're having a dinner party,
Uh-huh.
and you wanted to do this, but you didn't want to have to whip those egg whites right at the last minute, you can do it to this stage, smooth that over on the top,
Okay.
wrap them in plastic wrap, and stick them in the freezer.
Smooth them over how?
Just smooth them with your spatula,
Okay.
and then you cover them with plastic wrap, stick them in the freezer, and
Okay.
then take them out of the freezer when you're ready to bake them and pop them in the oven. It'll take
Alrighty.
a few minutes longer,
So
but
this
it'll
one's
still
ready
work.
right here.
Yep.
This one's ready right here. We're gonna go ahead and pop them in the oven, right? And we're gonna go ahead and let them cook through the break. And when we come back to Carolina Cooking, I'm gonna talk to our wine expert, Eris, and he's gonna tell us what wine goes best with curry when Carolina Cooking continues. So that was pretty easy. That
It's
wasn't
not
very hard.
nearly as difficult
Yeah,
as
I
you
was
thought it
I was
right?
scared. I
You're a little
thought
overwhelmed.
now do we have to not shake
So,
the ground?
well, I wouldn't do a Highland kilt dance here.
All right, I got you. Okay.
They're not nearly as touchy as people think they are.
Really?
And people get all freaked out, but it's egg white.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Hi, I'm here with our wine expert, Eris Ragazeas, and Eris, Chef Darren and I are making a curry crab and goat cheese souffle. We have curry powder in there. We have a little cayenne pepper to give it some kick. We need something that's strong, right? Something powerful. And what do you think would complement this?
Well, what I picked is a Alsace Riesling.
No, Rieslings are sweet. They're light. They're not made for curried powder. And
You got your mindset where most people have their mindset, which is Germany.
Really?
Which is where most of the Rieslings that people are familiar with come from. And yes, indeed, they do make a lighter, sweeter version of Riesling in Germany.
The Germans.
Yes, but the nature of a wine is determined by where it's grown. The climate, the culture, the winemaker.
And this one comes from?
This one comes from Alsace.
Okay.
And their style of Riesling is very different. It's full-bodied, it's dry, higher alcohol, a little bit less fruity, but adding a little bit of a spiciness and a little bit of a earthiness to it.
Okay.
So it's very much different from the German style. Both are very valid types of Riesling, but again, when people think of Riesling and they think it's going to be a sweet wine, they say, I don't like sweet wines. There are other Rieslings in the world.
Really? Well, I know I've had myself. I know I've had a Johannesburg Riesling. I know I've seen one from Australia. Where else would they make Riesling?
Well, Riesling is a very finicky grape. It does not do well many places. It does very well in Germany, does very well in Alsace, it does pretty good in Austria. In the rest of the world, it needs very specific climates. California is not doing too well anymore, but they do a good job in Washington, where it's a little cooler. Do a good job in New York State. We even make a Riesling here in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, and
Really?
all of them are very much different. Riesling is just that type of a grape. It takes on the personality of the place where it's grown. And so you get Rieslings of all different styles and all different levels of flavor and the complexity and fruitiness and earthiness, and you get anything you want.
Yeah, out of a Riesling.
Yes.
And so if you want yourself something sweet and light, you got to go ahead and get yourself a German one. But if you want to try to experience a broader variety of Rieslings, then you can find something that comes from a little different part of the world.
And Alsace especially is one of the great white wine growing regions of the world. Very, very food-worthy wines.
Well, I've got to get back and check my souffle and make sure it hasn't fallen in the oven. I got to check back with Chef Darren when Carolina Cooking continues.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. We are ready to see if my souffle came out. Ready? Dun,
The moment of
dun, dun.
Yours, talk about, there's something to be said for beginner's luck, I would say, because yours turned out better than mine did.
Oh, yeah. All right. Woo,
Now we just need to
doggies.
put it on the
Hey,
plate.
stand back from. I don't want anything to happen to this one. Just stand back. This is my baby.
Okay, you
that.
sprinkle a little bit of your garnish over the top, just a little bit of color there.
Okay, and a little green.
There we go.
Oh, this calls for a little
Soufflés
wine.
aren't so difficult.
No, not at all. This calls for a little wine, a little Guerrilla, as the French might say, or might not say. They might say it more correctly. And so here,
You know, in Savannah we'd say Guerrilla.
Oh, and we should poke a hole in that. Can you poke a hole in the
Certainly.
top of that for me? Because otherwise, I'm going to be burning my
going
lips
to.
when I try to taste this.
Souffle will always deflate some when you, as soon as you go into it, so it's supposed to. But
And the
it
wine
turned out
has a
perfect.
citric flavor to it that really complements the curry here.
Should go well with the richness.
Alrighty, here we go. Gonna give this a shot. Get a spoon in there. Oh, you see, that's envy. You just tore it all up, didn't you? That's okay. That's fine.
Oh, and
Wow. I'm
Is it
good.
good?
I am good. Let me tell you, I am something, folks. Oh my goodness. This is incredible. Well, we've done it again. Another
Excellent
good
job.
Absolutely.
See?
If you'd like more information, if you'd like to find out more about the recipe, if you'd like to find out more about Chef Darren here or the 700 Kitchen Cooking School at the mansion on Forsyth Park, visit our website at www.carolinacooking.tv. That's www.carolinacooking.tv. I'm Tom Zelenka, and that's Carolina Cooking.
Go to carolinacooking.tv for the recipes featured on this show. Plus, on carolinacooking.tv, you'll find more information on the wine, chefs, and foods of Carolina Cooking. That's carolinacooking.tv.
Carolina Cooking is filmed on location in 700 Kitchen Cooking School at the Mansion on Forsyth Park Hotel in Savannah, Georgia. For details on their hands-on cooking classes, call 888-711-5114 to book a class.